honest with you guys for a second, like actual honesty. There's a season where my whole vision board was basically date a bad boy, like a whole Jay-Z and Beyonce situation. Because I wanted the feats, the power couple energy, the we run this town aesthetic. I wanted the excitement. I wanted the chaos. I'm not even gonna lie. I wanted to party. I wanted to have fun, live my best life because that was what I genuinely thought living meant. And on top of that, I had this whole timeline in my head. Kids by 22, rich by 25, retired by 30. Like I had the spreadsheet mapped out me. But if you actually asked me why, like what's the point? What's the purpose behind any of this? I had nothing. Zero. It was just vibes stacked on vibes, no future actually attached to it. No purpose, just existing for the sake of existing and calling it a glow up. And then one day it just hit me. Like God kind of tapped me on my shoulder mid scroll and was like, and then what? Say you get the bad boy. Say you get rich by 25. Say you have the kids by 22. Say the whole timeline actually works out, exactly as you had planned out. Then what? Because none of that was ever gonna fill the actual hole I was trying to fill. That's when it actually clicked for me. I don't just need a relationship. I need a relationship that actually honors God. And I don't need a random flex timeline. I need purpose. Because chasing clout and chaos was never going to satisfy me long term. It's given me temporary, not eternal, not permanent. So today we're getting into it. Dating and singleness done the right way, which is God's way. And then we're also going to talk about toxic friendships you need to let go of because and boundaries you need to start setting like your peace depends on it because baby it does. Okay, so welcome back to Real Talk with Trivia Rahema. I am Trivia. I am your host. I'm a baby, my young adults. And yeah, today's episode is one of those personal ones. Or I don't know. It's just one of the most personal ones yet. So we're going to get into it. Okay. If you're new here, what's good? Welcome. This is the podcast where I stop pretending I have it all figured out and just talk real about faith, life, relationships, all of it. Because I'm not going to cap no more. There's not going to be no filters. No, I'm not going to be having the no fake, I have struggled a day in my life energy. Nope. Because today's episode is part of the relationship and community series. Woo, woo, woo. Yes, we have a new series called Relationship and Community Series. This is the first episode. You heard it from me first. Yes, sir. And it's a personal one from me because I used to be so deep in the wrong mindset about what a good life is even about or how it looked like. Because, I needed the bad boy energy. I wanted the party lifestyle. I wanted the lifetime, the rushed timeline, And I had zero purpose in life. And now I know a lot of you who are listening are either in the exact phase right now, or you just came out of it, or you're watching your friends live it and wondering if they're missing out. If you're missing out. I'm going to tell you, you're not missing out anything. Mm-mm. So let's talk about it. We're going to dating, friendships, and boundaries, and how to actually build a life that means something instead of just looking good on the outside while you're empty on the inside. Okay, let's pull up the word real quick because this is not just my opinion. This is God's actual truth on love. 1 Corinthians 13:4-7. One of my favorite verses. And I love this verse so much because it says, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It is not proud, it does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always preserves. Real love isn't about the chaos I used to romanticize about. No, baby. It's the patient. It's not about the clout or the drama. No, it's actually kind. Then we have one for friendship. Proverbs 13:20. Walk with the wise and become the wise, for companion of fools suffer harm. I love this verse so much. And I think this verse in like my friendship life has set such a high standard where it's like gotta work with the wise because I gotta learn from them. I don't like putting myself above everybody else because I know I have peers, and I just love learning. I love getting to know things. That's one of the things, or that's one of the beauties of life that I love doing. And if I've told you I love learning, you probably know that's true. I just love knowing things. Okay. And then we have Proverbs 27:17, which says, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. And then, lastly, I just had written this down, so I'm reading on my notebook real quick. On boundaries, we have Mark 1:35-37, which I love this verse because Jesus literally straight up told us to go pray while. Oh, no, Jesus straight up went and prayed while people were looking for him everywhere. Like he dipped, he said, yo, I'm out. Because, okay, let's read the verse and then see what's about. Very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went off to a solitary place while where he prayed, and Simon and his companions went to look for him. And when they found him, they exclaimed, everyone is looking for you. If Jesus set boundaries, mate, we definitely need to. Okay. And on guarding your heart, Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Okay, let's get into it. We're gonna get real now. Part one, which is navigating singleness and dating. Oof. Back to my bad boy era. So real quick, back to the Jay-Z and Beyonce fantasy I mentioned. Okay, you all already know I wanted the power couple aesthetic, right? Without checking the foundation, even if it was solid or not. I wanted someone with that, I don't care. I don't care. What you gonna do? Energy, because it felt exciting. It felt like main character energy. But here's what nobody tells you about that. Chasing excitement of a character is a setup, and it's not a glow up. Because a bad boy energy relationship isn't actually built on patience, kindness. No. Records of wrong, like, First Corinthians 13 says, it's actually built on the chaos, on the jealousy, controlling, dressed up as passion. And I had to have a real conversation with myself like, yo, Rehema, are you chasing a relationship, or are you chasing a vibe you saw online? And not gonna lie, the dating scene right now is a whole mess because everybody's on keep your option open mode, and nobody wants to define anything because labels feel like it's too much pressure. And nowadays, we have actually a name for it. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's either you're dating, you're engaged, or you're married. But no, 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 no. There's a new word that came. It's okay, it's been here, but it's getting popularized day by day. And we call it situationship. Like it's cute, but really, it's just two people avoiding real honesty because commitment to them sounds scary. And that whole no label thing is not actually freedom, it's just delayed heartbreak wearing a cute outfit. And that's when I got to know that there's honoring God in dating. Because when you honor God in dating, it doesn't mean being boring or pretending you don't have feelings. It means being honest instead of vague. It means you ask the scary questions. What are we for real? Like, go and ask that man, or go and ask that girl. What of me? Instead of floating in the situationship purgatory for 6 months, hoping it magically becomes something. Because it means you're protecting your body, not because God is trying to buzzkill, but because First Corinthians 6:19 says, your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. That's not a role to make you feel bad. That's God saying, hey, my dear, you are valuable enough that I want you to be treated with care, not passed around like it's nothing. You see? It means you date someone who actually makes you want to pray more. Ooh, not someone who has you compromising every standards you said because you'd hold just to keep them around. Maybe. And that's when we come to setting standards, because there's a difference between having standards and being all judgmental about it. Standards isn't about looking down on people living differently than you. No, it's about knowing your worth enough to stop settling for the bare minimum, dressed up as he's just not good with his words. No, but no, 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 no. Hey, no, 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 no. You shouldn't be doing that, okay? Because some standards I had to actually enforce for myself. And not to mention, okay, I'll mention a few. Okay. Because I'm not entertaining someone who only texts me at 1 a.m. I'm not confusing. He's giving me attention with he's actually interested. Get it? I'm not staying in the talking stage for months and months with hey, with zero clarity, just because being alone scared me more than being confused. It because I'm not compromising physically because I was scared he'd deep if I didn't. No, actually, no. If a man tells you that, hey, if you don't sleep with me, I'm no longer interested in you, babe, run. Don't walk, run. And that should be one of the standards you need to set. Or when you're going for a first date with a guy, you tell them, hey, these are my standards. If you know you can't abide with them, you and I are just not meant to be. So yeah. And then let's talk about the whole rushed life plan too. The one that I had. Because I was connected. Because it's connected. And somehow I didn't know it was connected because I had this whole I need to be somebody by a certain age with the kids by 22, rich by 25, retired by 30 pressure. And it wasn't coming from God. I knew it wasn't coming from God. It was actually coming from comparison and high culture because Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, there's a season for everything under heaven. Meaning, God's timeline does not run to your Pinterest board. No, it does not run on your whatever you have on your Pinterest board. No, 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 no. Because if I decided I was rushing into marriage, kids, or riches just to hit some imaginary deadline, that isn't purpose. That's literally panic dressed up as ambition. Because what I got to know is purpose is different. Purpose is asking, what is God actually building in me right now? Not how do I hit these milestones before my friends do. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I just leave that there. I'll just leave you guys hanging with that. We go on to our next subtopic, which is singleness is not the waiting room. Because singleness ain't about some L you're taking before real life starts. Apana. Because 1 Corinthians 7:32 to 34 says, it literally talks about singleness as an opportunity to be fully devoted, fully focused without splitting your attention. Your value was never tied to your relationship status, not even a little bit. Okay? Yes. I hope you all had me right. We're going to go to our next part, which is toxic friendships. And this is one of those. I think this would need its own episode because I'm just touching on it. I'm not gonna go in depth on it, but we're just touching on it. Friend group shifts. That's just life. Because if your friend groups have been changing, people drifting, new people coming in, old friends feeling distant now, and I used to have that. That doesn't automatically mean something's wrong with you because seasons change. Sometimes God's making room for those who's coming next, and sometimes you're just going past a season somebody else is still stuck in. I got to that realization. Doesn't make it hurt less though. Let yourself actually feel that instead of acting like it's nothing. And then I'm gonna tell you signs or red flags that your friendships might be toxic. Because here are some red flags. See if it's giving familiar. Okay? I'm gonna mention them. This is things that I've gone through. A friend who only comes when they need something but ghosts you when you need support. Red flag number 1. A friend who low-key makes you feel small so they can feel good or big. Red flag number 2. And you see this one for a friend who makes you feel small so they can feel big. My friends, highlight that one. I highlight it. Come here. Manyokes wako ingi kwenye. Anyways, a friend who gossips to you about everything else, which means, bro, they're actually talking about you too. Like what ifs? Okay. With this one, I wouldn't say okay, this is partially a red flag because I think we all gossip, even though we're not supposed to be gossiping. It's like it's not okay, but okay, I would choose that we are human excuse, but we all say something, but it depends what level they would scoop to gossip about you, what things they're saying. Now that would be a big red flag because if they say such um explicit stuff about you, about a friend, what are they saying about you? Okay, so yeah, that one, I don't know, yeah, but it's still a red flag. So yeah, it's in my list. A friend who pressures you to drop your standards, etc., your faith, your boundaries, and calls you too much or lame when you don't. That's the biggest red flag. My friend, leave. What are you doing? Run. Matter of fact, don't even walk. Okay, Proverbs 13:20 said, what it said, walk with the wise and become the wise, right? Walk with the fools and suffer harm. You will start acting like your friend group. That's not a maybe. That's just how influence works, and there's no debate in it. And that's when peer pressure comes in. Funny thing, I used to think peer pressure stops when I'm done with high school. Because, babe, I finished high school 2024. Okay, I finished high school officially 2024. My documents were 2024, but yeah, anyways. But they didn't end there, because I used to think peer pressure was just, you say no to drugs, yeah, kind of thing. But at 18, it's sneakier, because it's pressure to drink because everybody else is drinking. And then there's this one. This one is like, this one has to be on the top of the top of the top. Like, bruh, pressure to sleep around because staying pure feels embarrassing to even bring it up. Like I can't even say it because I'm just feeling disgusted. Because okay, this, I think, you see, this topic of sex, I think this will have its own episode too, because it gets to a point where I ask myself, if you don't have sex, or if you're a virgin, you're boring, you're not fun anymore. But if you're not a virgin, like nowadays, this is the standards that's set nowadays by, I'll say, the worldly life or whatever. If you're a virgin, we don't like you. But if you've had sex and you're sleeping around with like 2 to 3 men per week or whatever, ooh, you're the cool girl. We want to be your friend. We want to do this and that. But this, again, this can either go two ways. When you come to Christian life, for me, I usually say one of the things that you can have is your virginity. One of the big things, it's like having your V card at a certain age because you're waiting for the right person, is the best, because people don't get to understand that when you have sex with someone, you're actually sharing something. There's something you are sharing, and it can affect you. You can ask, why is my life going this way or that way? But it's because you're sleeping with someone who has carried damage, curses. I don't know. I don't know. And they're just, they're transferring it to you. Anyways, this is a topic for another day. Okay? Pressure to gossip along so you're not the quiet, awkward one. And then we have the pressure to laugh at stuff that actually makes you uncomfortable just so you're not that person. And let me tell you, pressure does not disappear. It just gets better at pretending to be normal. Mm-hmm. And when you find a real community or real Christian community, I mean people who never mess up, because it's people who actually are chasing God, who pull you toward Him instead of away. Because Hebrews 10:24-25 says to spur each other towards love and good deeds. Yeah, don't skip out on meeting on meeting together. Encourage each other. If you don't want that right now, go find it on purpose, because you can find purpose in youth groups, a small group, one solid friend who prays with you instead of just partying with you. Your people usually don't just fall in your lap. You gotta look for them. And now we head to one expert, setting healthy boundaries. Jesus set boundaries, so can you. Okay? We read it. Jesus literally left out to go and pray while a whole crowd was out there looking for him. If the actual Son of God needed to step away and protect his time with the Father, boundaries are not unspiritual, they are necessary. Period. Because Jesus didn't heal every single person in every town. No, he didn't answer every hater's question. He walked away from crowds, said no to good things so he could say yes to what actually mattered in the moment. That's boundaries in actions. Okay. And what boundary actually is, a boundary isn't a wall to keep everybody out. It's more like a gate. You decide who gets access to your time, your energy, your body, your headspace, and what at the terms. It's not about punishing people, it's about protecting what God gave you so you actually got something left to give to the people who matter. Practically, that looks like not replying to texts after a certain time so you can actually sleep, saying no to plans without over explaining yourself 5 times, telling a family member a comment that hurt you and asking them to stop saying it, even if it's awkward, and actually muting accounts on Instagram that makes you feel like trash about your life. Because, that's what it looks like. So, yeah, always choose your peace. Peace, 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 peace. And why does saying no actually feel hard? Because a lot of us mix up being loving with being available to literally everybody all the time, no matter the cost. And then me look at Galatians 1:10, which says, if I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. You cannot live trying to make everybody happy and also live pleasingly God. How can you please God if you're pleasing everyone? You have to pick one. You cannot do both. You cannot do both. Because if you say no to a party, that doesn't make you a bad friend. Saying no to a relationship moving faster than your convictions doesn't make you dramatic, because an example, I've said no to family pressure that's wrecking my mental health. And I feel like that didn't make me feel disrespectful, because setting a boundary around your mental health might mean stepping back from someone who drains you, even if you love them. Might mean a social media detox because it's feeding you anxiety instead of connection. And it might mean telling your parent you need space to process instead of being expected to have it all together on command. And none of that is unbiblical. Protecting the soil of your own heart so it can actually something good is exactly what stewardship looks like. Okay? Yes, that's what stewardship looks like. And okay. I can't believe we're almost done. Okay. Practical challenge for listeners. This is for you. All right. Here's a challenge for the next 7 days. And I need you to actually do it. I was journaling the other day and I came up with this idea because I was done journaling. So I was like, hey, I can give you something to journal about. Or, yeah. Day one, I want you to write down one dating standard you've been too scared to enforce. And what commit to holding it this week? Okay? You need to commit it to holding, yeah, it's this week. I don't know why I say that. I was like, me, I don't talk with my head. I noticed one thing. I don't talk with my head. I talk with my mouth. And it's very scary because I need to talk with my head. I don't think before I talk. And it's bad. It's very bad. And it's, guy, I don't know. Me, I don't know. Me, I don't know. But nowadays I try and think. Because now I'm like, hey, this sentence sounds wrong. But yeah, day one, I want you to write down one dating standard you've been too scared to enforce and commit to holding it this week. Okay? Number two, be honest about one friendship that has been draining you. Be honest about it. Not to end it dramatically, just to notice the pattern, okay? Day three, practice saying no to small things without over explaining or apologizing 5 times. Actually, nowadays, me, if I plan something, like let's say, hey, I've planned like, oh, hey, this weekend, we're going to watch okay, on Sunday, right? This Sunday we're going to watch World Cup, right? The FIFA World Cup, the finals, right? Then you've planned it with friends, something comes up and I have to say, hey, I cannot come, right? But then you're with certain friends and they're like, hey, why can't you not come? Then you have to over explain yourself, say, hey, I got this and this going on, that's why I cannot come. This and no, as much as you've said no, they need to have this belief or trust in you that, yeah, I've said no because I can't come. Like, I can't come. I don't have to like over explain myself like why I cannot come. I've already told you I cannot come. So, yeah. Day four, reach out to someone who actually builds you up spiritually and reconnect on purpose. Purpose, purpose, purpose. The key word of this episode is purpose. Because if you don't have a purpose, you don't have a future. I'm sorry. When I get angry, I tell the truth. I'm sorry. Day five, mute or unfollow one account that makes you feel less about your body, your relationship status, or your life. It can be on YouTube. Like, and then again, mute even music that you listen to. Mute it. Like, I'm telling you, it plays a big part in your life, okay? Day 6, spend 15 minutes journaling about what God in your heart, Proverbs 4:23 looks like for you right now. And I've been doing that. I've been journaling. And one thing is, every single time I take my pen and notebook and I just write down, I tend that I feel better about myself. And I tend to feel like there's a big weight that has been lifted, you know? So yeah, day 7, reflect what actually shifted in your peace or your relationships this week. And you don't have to do whatever I've told you to do. You can find areas in your life where you're struggling with and you need to fix it. And fix it, honey, fix it. I'm telling you, go do it. Go do it, okay? And if you're not gonna fix everything in 7 days, but you start to notice that what soil is actually healthy and what has been choking you out of this whole time, it's okay. You don't have to fix it, but you'll start to notice. Something. So yeah. I will say one thing. I think I'd have like 5 years from now, I'll make an episode about growth, and I'll tell you everything about my life. Like, I'll be an open book. I'll document each and every stage of my life because I'm just starting life. I'm about to hit my two decade mark. Okay. And I've started living, like, this is me living my adulthood life. And when I grew up, or when I was growing up, I'm not even grown up. Like, bruh, when I was growing up, I used to think that everybody above me had a manual that they were following, because I used to look at, people who are 25, 26, and I'm like, hey, I think they were given a manual that I was not given. And then I look back at my life and I'm like, hey, I'm 18. There's no manual. And then I remembered, hey, there's none. Because if there was, I would have been given. But I think I really love to talk to people who are growing up, because there's so much in ahead that nobody prepares you for. And then you get there and you don't know what to do. And you're like, what is happening? So yeah, but that's another episode for another day, because I cannot stop yapping. I'm a ranter. I rant so much to the point where it's like, my friends are like, hey, relax, relax. And I'm like, okay, I'm relaxed. Okay. Anyways, that is it for today's episode of Real Talk with Rivera Hammer. If this one hit different, if you've been chasing for the bad boy energy, the rushed timeline, the toxic friend group, you've just been too scared to say no, I hope this gave you a little bit of clarity today. Okay. So, I need you to help me with something, okay? Subscribe wherever you're listening so you don't miss the next one, and send this to somebody who needs to hear it. You're a girl stuck in a situationship. You're a boy chasing clout with no purpose. Whoever needs a reality check today, remember, the people and patterns you let in your life are soil. Choose it carefully, protect it fierce, and don't be scared to walk away from anything choking you out from what God is actually trying to grow in you. Until next time, this has been Real Talk with Shivia Rehema. Stay rooted, stay guarded, stay real, and guard your heart. We out. Peace. And I love you all. Mwah.